Hey everyone, it's been a while.
The boys are back.
The boys are back, just Lee and myself, just two boys here. We're talking Extreme Flex 4. This is an extension of a very, very successful line from our friends at CCM. Hang out, hang with us, let's get right into it.
Fourth iteration.
There was like 3 before it, right? We're not going to talk about those. We are going to talk about this, but this is a Stanley Cup-winning pad. It says so in the catalog.
It really does.
It says it in the catalog, right? So what is Extreme Flex? What are we talking about? What's important about this pad and what's cool about this pad? This pad's gonna pull from 2 things really, 2 big things. The dual light core technology and a noticeable influence with the highly success of the Premier 2 line. When we talk about dual light core tech, what is that? That's basically a 2-story apartment, right? So you've got 2 different stories happening in this pad. Everything from the knee down and what's going on from the knee up. From the knee down, you're gonna get what you would know as Extreme Flex to feel like. It's a soft, medial, lukewarm pad in terms of rebound control, feel, but the big thing I noticed right away was how soft the boot is. They give you their deep soft and their deep ultra soft. This thing is lively in terms of its reaction and how it stays with your laces. 0 pushback.
So dual light core, the bottom half of the pad is going to give you much more torsional flex.
Yep.
Again, boot is going to be noticeably softer. It's also going to sit closer to the foot. Again, more control over the pad. It's actually going to give you a little bit more feel lower in the shin. Again, having total control over this pad is a huge, huge upgrade.
We compare this to the E-Flex 3 with the deep ultra soft boot. Same spec on this, just noticeably more behaved. I don't know, man. It just has a lot of give. It's soft. When you move up the top of the chassis from the knee up, you get a totally different story. This has almost influences from Premier 2. Very, very, very stiff pad. Huge emphasis on seal, getting that rigidity back into the top of the pad.
The seal is noticeably better. CCM has been notorious for having a little bit of that curve, especially guys going down in their butterflies. Those harder foams definitely give that seal a much better feel. Again, guys being forced to use smaller pads, stiffer foams, makes it play bigger, again, gaining more size.
Yeah, and when you're going to a softer boot, you're thinking softer construction throughout. The top of the pad typically will get mushier, prematurely, softer too soon. You get a nice balance of rigidity, meat, body back into the pad, especially from how much we just compress the top of our pads from just leaning on those things. When we look at the outside gusset, thinner profile throughout, you got that 90-degree boot. Again, it's gonna stay nice hug to your laces. When we look at the back of the pad, huge influences from a very seminal design in the Premier 2, knee cradle strapping, the whole 9. You get that 3D molded landing. We actually found the overall stack to be a little firmer than maybe we would have anticipated.
I definitely noticed the knee stack. That EPP foam, definitely stiffer than I was expecting. But again, it's going back towards that top half of the pad being a little stiffer, really looking to make sure that seal is nice and solid and you don't have those squeakers underneath it.
Yeah, a lot of generous volume here in the knee cradle. Get that reduced outer knee wing, another P2 influence. We get down to the back of the pad, get quick motion happening here again. Big differences, you have the dynamic range to actually control how much tension you want here as opposed to giving the player 2 different fixed lengths. So you've got some nice dynamic range there if you want a more snug fit, or like Lee likes a little bit more of a...
I like a looser fit, went to the very edge of it. Gives you a nice solid rotation on the leg. Again, some guys, one of our other guys that used them, he likes a tighter fit. Again, crank that down, 0 issues.
Right, kind of pass through again. No more leather straps, QK5, whatever you want to use back there. Fixed nylon 2-inch wide static strap. This is your end stop. It's going to give you all the control, all that anchoring you would give it from a leather strap. No boot strap, see you later. Toe bridge size has been reduced, and we're into some bungee world here. Shock cord happening down at the toe bridge, getting away from dead lace, that skate lace world. It's kind of slowly starting to dissipate. We're seeing it widespread. Huge advantages to going in this direction.
Yes, and not to talk too much, but this old dog learned some new tricks. I got him into these about 2 years ago. Now it's the industry standard. Huge benefits to these. Again, moving in the crease, dropping down, your foot gets closer to that ice. Next thing you know, you have better edge work, your slides are better, and when you stand back up, now it pulls that pad right to the middle. Again, keeping you centered, nice and consistent.
Yep. And it also changed the pad fit too. So when you get away from 2 to 3 inches of slack in a skate lace toe tie, that pad is physically just drifting out. It's aiming towards the floor. Gravity's taking over. So with a shock cord or elastic bungee style toe tie, it's gonna bring that pad nice and taut towards the toe. It's gonna make the pad elevated. You're gonna get better clearance, better skate detachment. Huge benefits, happier hips, the whole nine, happier knees, the whole nine. So look at the obvious elephant in the room is a graphic. Everyone kind of hates a graphic when it first comes out until one guy comes out with a great version of it and everyone loves it. Big noticeable aesthetic, kind of runs through that vertical roll. Might change something from an optical standpoint. I don't know, they got a bunch of pointy lines and a bunch of zigzags and some textures going on, these negative spaces. You can do a lot with this, especially if you group larger sections together and maybe accent some of the lower ones. I've seen some cool iterations of this graphic.
Yeah, I've played around with the customizer. You can pick some pretty cool spots. Again, different textures in different areas. Gives you a nice, cool looking feel. And yeah, it's a pretty sweet looking pad.
Nice. And again, just to recap on feel, kind of everything you'd expect with E-Flex in terms of its feel, load up, a little bit softer in the boot we talked about, a little bit stiffer up in the thigh. Lukewarm spread off the pad as far as rebounds go. It's got that nice connective tissue, kind of connected feel to the leg. It's very, very popular line. So we expect E-Flex 4 to do as great as we've seen 3, 2, and even back to the 1. Huge influence from Premier 2. These guys are doing awesome things up there. So keep it up, don't change, but keep changing, you know what I mean? So if you like this and you want to learn more, you can click the link in the description, see some pretty pictures while you're at it too.
Like us, share, subscribe, watch it a few times, throw it out there. We're gonna be everywhere.
Show it to your mom, because she wants to know what you're doing with all that time on your hands. For Lee and Wack, Extreme Flex 4 from Pure Goalie, we're signing off.